Hey everyone, Warwick's here. Sorry it's been a while. I've been very caught up making my World of Warcraft series over the last month. It's been a whirlwind, plus some things going on with work and personal life that have been all sorts of crazy. I've been meaning to do these videos for a few days now, just haven't been able to. And well, I wasn't planning on making these today. I record on August 17th is what day it is as I record this. I've been batch recording today, so apologies if my voice is a little messy. But I was expecting right now to be with my kid, but he called me last night and said, "Hey, I kind of want to hang out with mom this weekend. Is that okay?" And well, me not wanting to take that kid away from his mother as much as humanly possible, even though he spends every week with her, sure, let him do that. So I have some extra free times on my hands, so I figured I would go ahead and finally sit down and do this recording. So this is going to be Geoff Castellucci. I'll be doing voice plays recording after this. That'll come out within a few days as well. This is Imagine by John Lennon, bass singer version by Geoff Castellucci, of course, who is my favorite singer on the planet. Yes, I did see the short that he also did a bunch of his country music songs onto a CD album. I might get that for one of my parents or my dad, maybe, just because I think he still has the CD player. I don't. So John Lennon and Yoko Ono released this song in the early 70s, I believe. I'm not a huge John Lennon or a Beatles fan personally. It wasn't not a thing that I'm into the music-wise, but, you know, for the most part, Geoff does something with these songs that are always fun and interesting, and so that's why I'm here to listen to them. So if you've never watched one of my videos before, first off, if you haven't, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this. And if you have before, welcome back. You guys know the structure on this, so I'll breeze right on through it. If I've never seen the video before, what I do is I actually will watch the video all the way through. No pausing, no stopping. You get my stupid face here in the bottom left corner of your screen, reacting to everything that I'm seeing on my computer and monitor right here in real time. And then I do a second listen through where I pause and I talk about things that I think are neat or interesting from both a musical and arrangement perspective and from a visual perspective. And I'm going to start quick with a visual note. I personally hate the way that this house looks. I don't like this style of home. But I have someone that I used to be married to that I think would absolutely adore this style of home. I'll have to send her a screenshot of this if she's not watched this video already. Hi, Ashley. So let's just dive right into it, guys. If you don't know me, go watch any of my other videos. I explained me a little bit there. So let's dive right in here. This is Imagine from John Lennon, originally by John Lennon. This is the bass singer version by Geoff Castellucci. Let me crank this up just a smidge so make sure that we hear it here.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, and above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. And I hope someday you will join as one.
Okay. Beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful song. I can see why I'd want to do
Hey
that.
y'all, Geoff here. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Special shout out goes to my Patreon community whose continuous support helped me make videos just like this one. If you'd like early access to music, videos, behind the scenes footage, audio session walkthroughs, and more, click over to Patreon and check it out. A very special thank you goes to Holger Draco, Tema Krempley, Juliana Livingston, Diane Holland, Sarah Borzelli, Sarah O, Lori Templeman, Laura Mueller, Patricia Schumann, Debbie Goodling, Jordy S, A.M. Person, Carl and Melanie Thomas, Debs Badger, Asa M. Lagnestall, and Dorothy Brune, who is always in our hearts. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Cool. Some of you guys that are regular commenters on my videos, I saw your name in that scroll. So shout outs to you guys as well for me. Excellent, excellent stuff there. Nope, not quite ready to go back again. Beautiful song. A very, I say interesting, but like it's a good message. Like, especially in a world right now where, like, obviously division and hate are a ruling theme of the world in general. This song obviously pushes back against the idea and the fact, 1971. So I was correct with the early 70s. Hooray, the history major got history correct. The fact that it's, 53 years later and the song still can be pointed to as a strong ideal to go kind of shows the staying power of the song, and maybe the fact that not enough people listen to it, and they really should. It's very interesting things, like vocally, some cool things that happen. Musically, there's a lot of weird things that happen, but maybe that's because I don't know the original, so we'll go through it and we'll see. But beautiful, beautiful song, a lot of soul to it. Not something that I really associate when you think of John Lennon, is the level of soul to it. Again, not super familiar with his music. Did not grow up on it, did not really go diving into it a lot, because I was more interested in a lot of other genres. And still am more interested in other genres personally, but this is where guys like Geoff come into play. They kind of open my eyes to some of these artists, and I'll go find the original. I'll definitely go find the original and listen to it when I'm not listening to Disney slowly rolling out their pop punk versions of Disney songs. Magnolia Park's Eye to Eye has been in my head rent free for like a week now. But I'll definitely go find the original version of this and see. I always like to do these comparisons kind of offline. In a lot of cases, I like the remix version better. But we'll see. But no, very, very good video, very beautiful song, very soulful performance. I really enjoyed quite a bit about it. Like I said, there were some things that kind of threw me off a little bit from a music standpoint. We'll talk about those as we go through the second listen through. So if that's all you're here for is the reaction, end of the video for you. Thank you for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe. If you're interested in this or in my World of Warcraft content, I've been doing a lot of that. If you want to just put that on mute in the background and let it play for 35, 40 minutes, I would appreciate that greatly. Get those videos views up, as I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Believe, God, I didn't even check what my last number is. Let me see. Let's go and find out. I don't even know my own subscriber count, guys. I know I'm close to 1,000. What am I at? YouTube Studio, 922. So I am less than 100 subs away from hitting 1,000. I would love to do that, ideally before Labor Day, but I know that that's probably a fast ass to get, 80 subscribers in the next 2.5 weeks. But considering my general growth is that I get about 20 subs a month, so love to hit it before Labor Day, but realistically, I'd like to hit 1,000 before the end of 2024. So Anyways, guys, let's get into the second listen through on this. Let's go dive in and talk about some of the things that I thought were interesting and neat. Like I mentioned, I don't like the style and structure of this type of home, but I do know people that do, and I would love to send them a screenshot. These beams do stand out to me. This is very much a ranch style home. I can just tell based off of the architecture, and like I said, my ex-wife in particular adores this style of house. So, in her dreams, one day. So right off the bat, we get our kind of like our main motif for the entire song, and kind of the driving force. If you've heard me talk about this a lot with Geoff arrangements, he loves the idea of maintaining momentum, but he does it in a bunch of different ways. So this motif here, with its very eighth note, this doom 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 doom. Now there's one thing here that threw me off guard, and it was those two notes right there. So right here, when you after you get the first doo doo doong, and then you get doong 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 doong, and then it almost sounds discordant, and it threw me off because it feels wrong but doesn't sound wrong, if that makes sense. We're like, as someone that has studied some compositions and is diving into doing like video game music breakdowns where things have to make sense, particularly for that genre, it it messed with my head a little bit because I wasn't expecting those notes, because logically in my own brain it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't sound awful. Like, I catch it because my brain goes, something ain't right there. But at the same time, my other part of my brain's like, but it still sounds good. It's a really weird feeling. Those notes right there.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, and above us only sky.
I really love this opening for a couple of reasons. One, we get Geoff in like his baritone best. Very breathy, very comfortable. Obviously, he's not pushing his vocal range at all in this song. Like, there is no different techniques other than what he can do. Maybe some mixing with his higher parts later in the song. But what I love about the beginning is we get our motif, doom 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 doom, and then as we get into our first set of lyrics, it's all chords, long whole note chords. And then in the gaps between words where there's like rests for the vocals, you get small little notes that keep kind of the idea of momentum. It doesn't stagnate. So like, listen here. Say chord, chords, and then doom doom doom. Right there, you get that little like progression that just keeps that momentum going, keeps the feeling of that you're going somewhere. And that's really beautifully done. I really like the way that he did that. So shout outs there. I love the way that this starts off because of that.
And above us
He repeats it here.
Sky. Imagine all the people.
Doesn't do it with quarter notes, but does it with this half note that's in the middle of that silence. So just, again, plays with your expectations a little bit. Really, really like it.
Living for today. Imagine there's no
Of course, we get a little bit of the bass. You know, obviously, like I said, he's not doing anything crazy with a vocal, but he's, dives a little bit down here and gets us what we want, what we all love about Geoff. I know a lot of people have grown to appreciate his full range. But I mean, when you hear, if you are aware of the fact, like you see, it says a bass singer version, like you're expecting some low notes somewhere, right? And he, like, if you know the original song, I don't. So, kind of thinking on this, I don't think it was the intention. But if you don't know the song, like you're expecting some stupid low note in here and you don't get it. But he does give you a little bit of a taste. But then as you start to realize kind of the tonality of the song, like the super low notes actually would be really out of place, but he still finds a way to like tease you still. Right there.
Imagine there's no.
And he starts with imagine where, like he attacks these notes on a low and then jumps back up into that like high bass baritone level. Again, teasing you with these lower notes that we know that he's capable of. And in the voice play video that I'll be doing here shortly, I'm sure I'm going to hear him.
Countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too.
Quick controversial aside, as someone that is not religious, I'm down with that. Anyways, the song, as I realize I'm listening to it again, it's almost myopic in a way, but that was John Lennon in a nutshell. Again, kind of taking the same approach here that he did in the very opening line, where while he's singing, it's some chords with a little bit of motion, but when there's that silence between vocal lines, he's filling in gaps with piano riffs. So just kind of keeping that idea moving forward. And again, it's all about keeping the song from feeling stagnant, like you're not going anywhere. Songs that make you feel stagnant, not going anywhere, or feel like they're being extended just for the sake of being extended, just feel bad, and he does a really good job of avoiding that here.
Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Again, there's our next tease where he finds a way to incorporate some low notes, but it's not crazy subharmonic stuff that like gets people's eyes popping. It's just beautiful bass. It is pure in a way that he doesn't do in certain songs, because like the idea, like in Reigns of Castamere, for example, he had like those D1 subs. Like the idea there is to do something epic, because Game of Thrones and the Reigns of Castamere is epic. John Lennon's Imagine is not epic. It's a song about being peaceful and kind. And there's a purity and an innocence to it in a lot of ways. And so he's got to make sure he's reflecting that in his voice. And he's doing that. But still doesn't mean he can't do something nice for us with his low bass stuff. And he does something even better for us later on in the song.
And I hope someday.
Also, we're starting to get the introduction of his background vocals, obviously not seen on camera at all. This is something that Geoff does every now and then. Wicked Game did this where it was only the one Geoff on the screen, whereas like Unshaken and Big Iron and stuff like that have multiple people on them. This does not play off of that. He plays with the solo artist, but you still get his other vocals in the back that are much more tenory, and just again starting to add depth and starting to add a lot of things in the background that actually start to become more and more interesting.
You will join us, and the world will be as one.
Also getting this, like, I don't know if it's like a high violin note or like how he made it, but there's this like very like whatever, made it sound bad, but it's like this almost like a high, I won't say flute because it doesn't sound flautist like, but there's this high like pitch that's in the background before we move into this very soft bass kick where it almost sounds like he's got a felt wrapped bass drum stick hitting a drum head that is also like got like a towel over it almost. Those are the types of effects that you can use to create this type of sound effect where it almost sounds like you're underwater when you hit the bass drum. It's that idea. And then we get again this brush like sound on a snare drum. It can be used to create that. I don't know how he did it here specifically, but we start to see that effect. And it'd be very, very soft brushes. And again, that like high chime note almost here. And then we get into like he takes his hands off the key, like visually he takes his hands off the keyboard and then puts them back down on him to indicate that we're transitioning into like part 2 basically of this song. Really, really nice transition way to do it, and using the chime note again to keep active sound going. But then you get this build, this whoop, that goes into this next section. Really, really beautifully done. And then we get Geoff at his tenory best. Almost the rest of the song, and it is great. I wonder how hard it was to edit that with like 5 voices all together. I have to wonder how hard it was to get that edited all together. Like in my own analytical brain, I feel like it would be hard. I don't know. I've never edited music. I only edit YouTube videos, but I feel like it would be hard. So the fact that it sounded so clean and so pure, I was like, wonderful. I wonder how many takes he had to do to get that right too. Interesting enough. No need for greed or hunger. Oh, I just heard that the second listen through. Hold on. Listen to the way he extends the ER, the sound here. I don't know if it's post-production reverberation that's added or if he did that with his voice, but man, that tickled like right back here in the back of my head in a way I wasn't expecting. Oh, it just hits like a certain part of the back of my brain every time I hear it. Jesus. Yeah, I want to know if that's post-production or if that's something that he did with his voice, like his 5 voices. And again, God, that had to be hard to record and edit and piece together so that it all sounds, I mean, it's all harmony. It's all, 5-part harmony going on right now and 4-part harmony, whatever it is. And the fact that it sounds perfect in a way almost makes me wonder if they added that like a reverb effect in post. In my left ear, something really fun going on here. We're getting almost like this distorted like guitar sound, almost like he's blowing out an amp in a weird way. Like if go to roughly this mark the 2 blocking with my fat body 247 in the song. If you're looking at the original video, go here and put on good headphones and listen in your left ear specifically, and listen to the reverb distortion that's almost going on here in your left ear right here. Oh, that's going right to left in my ears. Holy crap. Okay. Interesting. Nice little, I guess it's added for depth, obviously, to make this part of the song feel more impactful, feel more epic, feel more intense in a way, but it's really interesting sound effect that I kind of like. Yeah, that's going left to right in my ears. Holy crud. That's cool. They say I'm a dreamer. still going. But I'm not. Really like that.
And I hope someday you will
Same here someday.
and the world will live as one.
Really like that in the background there, our percussion became much more defined. Again, it's that bass drum that almost sounds like it's underwater, like a boom underwater. But we get off of the brushes a little bit and get a kind of a very muffled snare sound. Again, probably a felt tipped under snare that's below a towel, which is a technique I used once in my late high school days. We'll go back 10 seconds so we can hear it. But yeah, it's just really nice. It's adding a lot of really nice texture to the overall arrangement. Obviously, we're getting Geoff at his tenor best here, as I call it. I love vocally almost everything he's doing here. His little climbs up that I don't know if he's doing any sort of mix into like head voice at all, or if it's all in his chest range, because I know he's been working on his upper chest range. But I really like what's going on with the percussion here.
And the world will live as one.
Like I'm basically putting my tongue into the back of my throat to make that type of sound. From a vocal percussion standpoint, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it. But it's a really nice texture that cuts just enough so that you register it without being a distraction, which percussions can sometimes be a distraction. Drummers have egos, let's be real.
And the world will live as one.
Jesus. Right there. And then we get also back to our main opening motif, that doom 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 doom, or whatever it is. I was probably added too many eighth notes, but get back to our main motif here as we get towards the end of this song. And that right there, this little click a note again, right there, that ding 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 ding. Again, a note that it sounds off. Logically, it doesn't make sense for it to be there, but it doesn't sound bad. So we get this at the beginning and at the end again. Go back 5 seconds. I'll point it out. I'll point up here so you can see my hands. Like it slips into minor for like one note and then goes back into major. It's so weird. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't sound bad. It's crazy to me. And I love that we end with the snare-ish sound, that right there at the end. So lovely, lovely song. Again, I don't know anything about the original version. I will go listen to it later today, but beautiful arrangement, Geoff. Thank you again. And congratulations on your Dusty Old Songs album. Like I said, I might go buy one for someone in my family. Because I know I have family members that still use CDs and would love listening to that stuff. But so congratulations, Geoff, on that. And this is awesome work, man. Like I really enjoyed this. I'm excited to see whatever it is that you're bringing as we are closing in on the fall. And of course, Halloween is coming up. So I know you're working on your Halloween project probably now, arranging it and stuff like that. So very excited for that. October is going to be fantastic for all sorts of reasons. But this was just great. I enjoyed this in a way that I wasn't expecting, even with some of the things that hurt my brain logically, but musically sound good. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. If you like this, again, like, share, and subscribe. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers as I record. I'm at 922, so I'd love to hit that number soon. Until the next video, I hope you all stay safe. Hope you're enjoying yourself. You're having fun. You keep on gaming. We'll see you all in the next video.